Well, good evening, y'all. It's Pastor Denise again here for another session of Fantabulous Fridays with Pastor Denise. Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope your Friday, your week actually has been a good week. This is something I just want to plan on doing. I'm trying to be consistent with it. As my overseer so often says, consistency means everything. So welcome back to another Friday of Fantabulous Fridays with Pastor Denise. Come on, y'all. Come on in the room. Like, tag, and share. Invite some folk on in here. This session that I'm doing, I try to do these to be encouragement on Fridays. We've gone through a work week, or maybe for those not, just come on. We have so much negativity already in the world, right? You look at the news and maybe in your own life or whatever. So I just want to come on Fridays and just encourage you and give you some good wisdom and advice and direction. So I plan on being here every Friday that I'm able to at 5 o'clock. So it's actually Fantabulous Fridays at 5 with Pastor Denise. Fantabulous Fridays at 5 o'clock, y'all. Wherever you at, in your car, on your job, put your little earbuds in, at home, 5 o'clock. I plan on being on here on Fridays with Fantabulous Fridays at 5 with Pastor Denise. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. As you come in, comment, as I said, like, tag, and share this. This is going to be wonderful. Today, we're going to be talking about road bumps in the road. Bumps in the road. Sunday, my husband and I, we were on our way to service. And we had to take this, of course, exit. And so when we got to the exit, the first couple of times we took this road, it's this big hole in the road. And we're in our Volkswagen, that's low and it feels every bump in the road. But this particular bump, it can tear some stuff up, y'all. And I'm getting to my point here. So we're taking this exit. And when I see the exit, I remind my husband, babe, remember the bump in the road? Well, back a little ways in before we got to that bump, it was some more bumps in the road. And we hit this one bump on the highway, y'all, the top part where my clock is and the time is, it just fell down. Anywho, so we kept riding. But when we got to this one particular exit, I remember this bump. And I told my husband, baby, remember that bump. And my husband, we got to it, it happened so fast, he kind of swerved, just got a little piece of it. But you know what? In this life that we're in, we're going to hit some bumps in the road. And some of them bumps is going to hit so hard, it's going to knock some stuff loose. It's going to knock our faith. It's going to knock our belief. It might knock our trust. It might knock off a relationship. It might disconnect us from God knows what. But what we have to do is continue to go move forward. We might have to stop and reassess some things, but don't stop. Keep going. That bump is it was just something that happened, but don't let it stop you. It might be a relationship that you've been in a friendship with somebody for some years, and all of a sudden you hit this bump. Some things, y'all, are just unrecoverable. Sometimes it hits us so hard, it breaks the axis. Come on, somebody. It breaks what held that relationship together. And you got no other choice but to let it go. But then there are those bumps that we remember going through life. When I was in that relationship, we hit this bump. And I realized and remember what it did. So when I recognize that bump in this relationship that I'm in now, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We got to do something different. So in your life, as you're going through whatever bumps that you realize, even in our own personal lives, some things that we were put up with, some things that we allowed, some things that we did, that may have caused hurt to somebody else. some things that we did that caused somebody else to get hurt because we didn't go around the bump. Miss the bumps, y'all, as much as you can. When you know better, you do better. When you know what's up ahead, when you know what happened in that relationship, whether it's with personal relationships, work relationship, church relationships, whatever relationship it is, when you understand and we realize, okay, I remember that bump. I remember this is what it looked like. Just let me tell you, the first couple of times we hit that bump, that thing just went all through me like, my gosh, it's going to tear my car up. And we're going to have to get it fixed and spend unnecessary money or whatever, because the state ain't going to pay for it. They don't fix them roads, but they ain't going to pay for us to get our vehicles fixed. So I'm like, we got to remember the bumps that are ahead. And we got to remember how that thing almost tore us up, almost broke us down, almost took us out. So when we're in relationships and we're going through life and we recognize that bump, oh, no, I'm not going that way. I'm going around that thing, or I'm going to deter from that thing. I'm not even going to get close to that thing because I remember how it made me feel the last time that happened. Or I remember how it made my husband or your wife or your child or the boss or the employee. I remember how it made them feel. So I don't want to go over that bump again. So y'all, this Fantabulous Friday at 5 with Pastor Denise is just to remind us to remember the bumps in the road. Remember how that thing made you feel. Remember how it made somebody else feel if it was you that was the bump. Own it. Accept it, realize it, and make up in our minds, we're not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm not going to allow that thing to happen to me. It almost broke me. It almost destroyed me. It almost took me out. It almost caused me to lose my mind. So I'm no longer going to go over that bump. I'm going to go around it, or better yet, I'm just going to deter myself from it. I'm going to go around. I'm avoid it as best I can. Y'all, the bump may not move. The person may never fix it, just like the state of North Carolina may never fix that bump. But we got to realize every time we go down that road, that hole is there, that bump is there, and we got to go around it. Sometimes we're going forth in life and things are happening. You don't mean you got to run over the bump. Go around it. Save yourself. And you know something else I told my husband? When I know that that's what happened when I went over that bump, now I'm going to tell others, be careful when you hit exit so-and-so. Be careful when I see somebody in a relationship and we're talking, they tell me about certain things. See, I already went over that bump. I already know how it feels and how it can mentally take you in a place you don't want to be. I already know. So why would I not tell somebody else when you hit that bump in your relationship? Baby, go around it. Baby, it's not worth it. It's not worth you going through that. It's not worth you going through the hurt and the pain and the turmoil and the anxiety. Let it go. Go around it. Avoid it. So let us not, now that we're out of it, now that we've gone through those things and we have endured those bumps in our lives, we have endured those things and the things start triggering, now we got to tell somebody else. Sister, that man don't love you if he not calling you for 2 or 3 days. If you always the one running after him, you always the calling him up, and that can be male or female. If you always the one calling and reaching out, and even in friendships, you always the one calling, you always the one texting, you always the one reaching out. That's a bump in the road, and your feelings get hurt, and you get in your emotions, and you wonder why they not call me. Honey, let them go. It's okay to let go. I talked about that last week. It's okay. And it is personal. It's personal because our time for continue to reach out to people and be there for others, and then they're not there for us, and we see them. I'm gonna say it. We see you posting on other people's stuff. We see you commenting on other people's stuff. We hear that you with this one and that one. But we're supposed to be friends or buddies or whatever the case may be, and you don't reach out to me, you don't respond to me. It is personal, and it's okay to let go and let go in peace. Let go in peace. Avoid as many bumps as you can and tell somebody else, It's okay. Go around it, avoid it, or better yet, some things you can't avoid. Slow down so you don't tear something up. Slow down, pull back in that relationship, pull back in what you're giving. Sometimes we give too much too soon. Pull back and see what happens. Fantabulous Fridays at 5 with Pastor Denise. I love you guys. I just want to see everybody winning. I don't want to see nobody have to go through unnecessary pain and hurt. You know, some things we can't avoid, but what we can avoid it. What you can go around, go around. Listen, I don't have to keep learning things on my own. I can see that you walked out in front of that truck and you got hit and died. I don't have to experience that. I've learned to learn from others' bumps in the road. Y'all go on and have yourself a fantabulous Friday. I love you. And Lord's willing, I will be back here next Friday again with an encouraging word to let you know God has not forgotten about you. He's heard your prayer, but he wants all of you. And as you're going through this weekend, if you go back and review this and preview this and share, like, and tag this, remember, there's going to be bumps in the road, but learn from it, grow from it, and go forward. I love you. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye for now.